This is Heather Melville from Healthy Relationships, and you are listening to Vroom Vroom Veer with Jeff Smith, reminding you that healthy relationships is not too far away, and you don't have to be fully healed to experience them.
Perfect. Very good. Look at that. You didn't even need to write anything down. That was great. Okay, let me hit stop. I'll be right back.
In a previous life, I was trying to be an actor. So.
Oh, good. Wow, nice. All right, I'll be right back.
Are you ready to thoughtfully steer away from your revved up, frenzied, and far too often scripted life? Then welcome to Vroom Vroom Veer with Jeff Smith, where he guides you down the road differently traveled by sharing unique experiences with guests who have managed to shift away from a life stuck on cruise control and veered their way into a more authentic and fulfilling one in all sorts of interesting and kind of remarkable ways. Get ready to Vroom Vroom Veer with your differently traveled road chauffeur, Jeff Smith.
Dalene Higgins, thank you so much for being on Vroom Vroom Veer and welcome to the show. How's it going?
It's going wonderful. Surviving the heat.
Right. So you are at elevatefinances.us. So talk a little bit about what you're most excited about in your business today.
Yes. Right. Well, not right before this recording, but just a little bit before. I had an amazing client session and just... yeah, she's getting it. It's clicking. She's moving ahead. She's figuring out how now can actually serve her retirement later, and love the trajectory that she's on. And I love that I get to support her.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's really hard to find people that I want to have on the podcast. Right. So, but I'm getting better at filtering out the folks. So as soon as I saw your website, I'm like, bam. So like seeing the match is easy. Like when I watch TV now, right? Like most of the drama in our world is about two things. You're either worried about your family being harmed or threatened or something like that, or you're worried about being broke or trying to, you got money problems.
Yep.
One of those two things we can actually do something about, right? You're never going to stop worrying about the people you love, right?
Yep.
And you shouldn't.
Right. Exactly.
But we can fix the money thing.
Yes.
We can work on it. Okay, cool. So let's talk about Dalene before you retired and started working as a money coach. So where did you grow up and what sorts of things? Let's start with high school. What were you like in high school?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
So going back to school.
Why not?
Very much a wallflower, introvert.
Okay.
School was easy. Okay. The education part of school was easy for me.
Right.
Not that I was a straight A student or anything like that. That was not hard. The social piece was very difficult for me.
Okay.
Very difficult for me.
Okay.
But by high school, I was figuring it out. I had some good friends. Was on the drill team, did that for a while. Participated on the swim team for a whole year because they needed an extra person. So I got to fill in.
Nice.
That was a lot of fun. I'm glad I did that. But yeah, that was me in high school. I actually met my husband.
High school? Wow.
Yeah. I was in high school. He was out of high school.
Okay.
So yeah, we didn't get married till about 6 years later. So we've been together for 38, but married for 32.
Wow.
And so yeah, that was high school.
That's amazing that it worked out.
Yes. And it's still working out.
Congratulations. That's a long time married. Yeah.
Yes.
I think we're 30 plus, my wife and I. So, but I always get it wrong. So I'm not going to say what I am.
I do too. I have to add, and I just added it the other day.
And I don't like to do it in public, but it's 30 plus. And my wife is listening to this, and I'm going to get in trouble. I already know.
That's funny. I love it. I love it.
It's a guy thing. It's not that I can't do the math. I just don't want to. It'll distract me. Anyway, but congratulations. Good for you.
Thank you.
What did you do like immediately after college? Did you start working or did you go to college?
So when I graduated high school, I was like, I'm not going back to school. That was way too much. I'm not doing it again.
Right.
So I found me a job at the local police department.
Oh, wow.
But the following year, I put myself through school. So I worked 40 hours plus put myself through college. So I did go back to college. I went back again. So I have my bachelor's, I have my master's. But yeah, I worked at the local police department for 17 years. And then I transferred to the local sheriff's office for another 15. And that was my retirement. Okay. And that's why I was able to retire. Yeah. But it's also why I'm very different. 18-year-old working with the detectives. That was my very first full-time role there. Right. And taking statements from suspects, victims, witnesses. Wow. I did subpoenas. Yeah. I did arrest warrants, search warrants, all the things.
You got to see some of the dark side.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, impacting me, social, introvert, all of that. It's kind of created a whole new person. And I'm realizing that more now. Like somebody will say, in fact, my husband said, oh, there was a kidnapping somewhere. And I'm like, oh, was it a bad one or a family one? And I know that sounds weird. Right. Yeah. I need to have, which clarification are we? Not that it's neither one is bad, but it's just like, what does it mean? You know? Right. So I find myself asking those weird clarifying questions.
It's because you're an insider. Yes.
And and I'm like, okay, people are thinking I'm a weird. So I love when people actually know kind of where I came from and what I did before. So it's not a lot.
You want more details than people even.
Yes.
Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. All kidnappings are bad.
Right. And I'm like, no, wait, let's filter this down. I need to know a little bit more and then you can tell me the story. So
one of my buddies in the Air Force while I was active duty told some like scary stories about like paramedic calls.
Oh, yeah.
And how like, you don't want to be 100% honest all the time when you're on some of those calls. Right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into details because it's sad.
It is sad, but I'm very grateful for those people that are in those areas doing what they do.
Yeah. But I get it. You kind of get like behind the scenes of humanity a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. It's not the TV version. The TV gets a lot wrong.
Yes.
I bet you that drives you. Can you watch TV shows about cops and stuff? I mean, or does it just drive you too nuts?
I didn't for the longest time because I was bugged by the fact that that's not how you did it or that's not how fast it happened, you know? Right. And then I got past that. So certain things I would watch. Right. I don't watch a ton of TV, so it doesn't become problematic in any way that way. But it was very difficult in the very beginning. So
like most of my time in the Air Force, I was in these classified facilities.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly. Ew. Good response. They're gross. I'm glad I'm not anymore.
Yes.
But anyway, like, you can't bring your phones in there. Right. I mean, there was actually do you remember when Blackberries were a thing or blueberries?
Yes.
Blackberries?
Yeah. Blackberries.
That was the first time they sort of like, let us bring it in, but only temporarily, right?
Oh, interesting.
Because these were government issued, right?
Okay.
Now, the colonel still had to leave his device in the lobby, right? But in order for me to work on it, I could like bring it in as long as it didn't have an active signal and I was just working on it. Yeah. I could briefly bring it in, but only for a little while. As soon as that radio signal was on, it couldn't be in the office anymore. Yeah. So we actually had to go to a different place where the security was less to actually configure these stupid things.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So and then when I started carrying the phone around all the time, I was like, why do I even own this thing? It's in my car. Most of the time.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't bring it into the library. Why? I started just leaving it at home and I was like, why am I paying this bill?
Yes.
Eventually I retired and I got a real phone. So anyway.
Yeah. And understand why you have it now.
But when I would watch those TV shows like 24 and they're walking around on their phones in these secure facility, I'm like,
Yeah, it's a little buggy. So you have to learn to look past it.
Exactly. Well, obviously.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I get it. I sympathize. Okay. So, wow. So you had quite the career there and you basically retired so were you officially like a uniformed officer?
No, I was just
okay.
a civilian. Yep,
Gotcha.
I was a
Yep.
civilian. I served the detectives as a secretary role.
Okay.
And then I was a crime analyst for a
Oh,
short
wow.
stint.
Okay.
And then when I transferred to the sheriff's office, I actually was their budget manager. So
Oh,
I
wow.
got rid of the
Okay.
crime and went into the money,
Interesting.
but still working with the cops because there's something different about law enforcement than regular corporate world. And I was not going to go, AP or AR or do any of those numbers things. So I really, really enjoyed my last 15 years.
So, and you were working on sort of like the operating budget, that kind of thing?
Yeah. So the sheriff's office was a $60 million budget when I left. And so 22 people were tasked with their areas. I had to help
All those
them
cost
understand.
center managers. Yes.
Yes. So they knew what they wanted or needed.
Yeah.
And the auditor's office needed it in a certain way, which I understood. So I was kind of that filter, teaching support to make it happen. And that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I have a distorted view of what budgets mean because I was in the military, right? Mm-hmm. It's so different in the military, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when I was like allotted, I was like a master sergeant in charge of a certain amount of money that I don't remember how much, but they would say, okay, this is your budget, right? Mm-hmm. And it was kind of like this silly little thing that you had to go through where you'd go, the only thing I really cared about was getting training for my guys because that was a thing you had to budget for. And then if there was something else that I thought maybe we needed to do that we weren't already doing, there was some big things like backups for the servers.
Yeah.
Had the budget for that. That was an important thing. But most of it was just sort of like copy paste, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Most of that budget is just like, you're going to get it anyway. It's just moving around where there might be shortfalls kind of idea.
Exactly.
But the thing about it was in the military, at least where I worked, right? They were really mad at you if you didn't spend all your money. Right. It was right. Mm-hmm. So they would be like, you got to spend this money. I'm like, yeah, that's okay. Take it. No, that's an unacceptable answer. You can't.
Yeah. It's a very different world. It's very difficult. I worked, so 2 different agencies. One I didn't budget for, but I worked a little bit with the accounting. The idea was that whatever you didn't spend, a portion of it became a Christmas bonus. So I loved that idea.
Oh, neat. Okay, that's fun.
And so spend what you need, get what you need.
Right.
You don't overspend, and you're going to, be rewarded for that in that sense. And I loved that. Right. So then I went to the other agency. It wasn't that they wanted you to spend it, but it became a black mark against you for the next year if you put it in there and they're like, oh, you didn't use it last year, so you don't need it. Exactly. Well, I didn't use it last year. And it's so hard with, politicians. I'm going to use that loosely because that is who is actually approving those budgets. So
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like other functionaries would come up to you and say, why didn't you spend this money? And I'm like, look, I'm fudging these numbers. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yep.
And they're like,
exactly.
And they're like, well, okay, this is how much you need to spend. Can you think of stuff to buy? And I'd be like, oh yeah. We had one of those government purchase cards, right? If you tell us a number, we'll go buy printers or something.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Right. Yep. So, I would play the game. I'm sure all the taxpayers are like, what?
Yep.
It's just part of the game. So sorry.
It is. It is.
If you don't spend it, somebody else, you'll get a black mark on you, like you just said. And somebody else will steal it and you won't get it next year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you need it. Yep.
Right.
Yep. No, yeah. It's difficult.
Yeah. I have this story about how I was trying to hire another civilian contractor while I was still active duty. And I kept asking and they're like, it's not really in the budget. And then so you've heard of GPS, right? Mm-hmm. So GPS was also the program manager of GPS was like their money guy was across the street. So GPS had a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they wanted this thing that our organization could provide. Right. And so they were like, we need this. You can do it for us. How much do you need? how about $1 million? And I'm like, I've never had $1 million. So I had to go ask my guys how much, what we needed to do that. Right.
Yeah.
And one smart guy said, well, we need to hire a contractor. That's at least $100K, right?
Easily.
Right. Salary plus overhead, yada, yada, right? System administrator, they're not cheap, right?
No,
so that's a big
not.
chunk. And then the rest was just hardware, right? So, but none of that came anywhere close to $1 million. But anyway, I spent the money. They didn't give me the $1 million. They just paid for what I used, right? They hired a contractor. They gave us the hardware. We put it all together. And then that guy, actually, I think a year went by and GPS was like, okay, we're not giving you any more money. Right. And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You said, but you said, right. But they didn't, when I went to my finance guy, he was like, that's okay. You don't have to fire that guy. It's okay. We'll just pay for it. I'm like, it blew my brain up. I was like,
Yes. Yep.
In the military, in the government, things don't have to make sense, as they say.
No, they don't. No, they don't. You learn how they make sense, and then you learn how to walk that walk.
Right. Thankfully, I was very close to retirement, so my irritation didn't last.
Exactly.
Very long. And I was happy. I was like, oh, okay. Fine. If that's how it has to happen, at least I got my guy,
Yes, exactly.
And he did the backups. Yay.
Yay. Oh, gosh. Wow.
So how did you end up starting? You said you started coaching people like while you were still working.
Nope, I did it right after I retired.
Oh, okay.
So I retired
Right.
I think my last day was May 27th. And June 1st, I started my coaching business. And that's so it's very much part-time for me. I like to do a little bit during the day. I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot. So I've been retired just over 4 years now.
Right.
Coaching all sorts of people, helping them understand where their hiccups are with money. And sometimes, most of the time, it's not where they think.
Right.
They want to blame themselves. They want to say they're overspending. I'd say 5% of people are truly overspending.
Right.
It's having a system that gives you confidence and control to change your decision making. Right. So just like you were explaining, we'll just pay for it. Right. To be able to do that in your own budget. Yeah. I can teach, people how to do that.
Yeah. It's a tricky thing. Yeah. I can tell a story about me. Like this podcast I started in 2015.
Oh, wow.
Right. So it's been going on for a while now. Right.
Wow.
But
congrats.
Its original intention was for me to be able to make money off of it. Not a lot, but just enough so I could stop working. It was kind of like a retirement plan. Right.
Yep. Yep.
And about maybe 2 or 3 years later, I realized that I was, with my Air Force retirement and then with some fun math that I found on the internet, right? I was like, wait a minute. I'm pretty much good, right? And then I kept working until like 2023 anyway, just because I kept running those numbers over and over and over ad nauseum, right? I was pretty much ready to quit altogether. And then COVID happened. And I was like, well, I might as well keep working now. Yep. But I already knew at that point, like I had hit the number, as they said. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
So now this podcast doesn't need to make money anymore. Yay.
Yay. I know it's nice to have those realizations and those understandings. So when I say I was on a 13-year journey, that was for me to have the door open, right? So I could, if I wanted to, could retire. I worked 2 more years just because I think stars have to align, everything, it's that leap out the door that is hard. Even if, like you said, I ran the numbers ad nauseum, right? It's still that, is it going to be okay? And so I think I was about 10 months out from my planned time. And I said to my nephew, and mind you, he's only 6 years younger than me. So I said to him, I'm like, I think I'm going to retire, but what if it doesn't work? And he goes, you go back and get another job.
Yeah.
And
right.
he made it so simple that I'm like, okay, I can do this.
Right.
And it's that understanding.
It's not
that
like you're suddenly disabled or something.
It's not permanent. It's not. And I've been fine.
It's another like illusion that we have in the back
Exactly.
of our mind.
Exactly.
Right.
So, he gave me the confidence that I needed. And I think sometimes we have to search for that.
Right.
So, for you, it was running those numbers over and over. Also finding what I felt was the perfect time to actually do it.
Okay.
So I could have left at, the 2 years before, and we were actually caring for my parents, but my bosses and everybody were really good. Like the June that my dad passed, I literally worked 2 days a week.
Wow.
I didn't ask if that was okay. I just did that. That's the type of people I worked for, which is not, that's not found everywhere.
Right.
So, And so then we took care of my mom from there, but I worked 4/10s at that point. I adjusted my schedule and worked and did it. And it was interesting that I was also, I remember years before that, I will retire and I will retire early if I need to leave and take care of my parents.
Right.
But it was just in the situation I didn't have to. And so I did. I just kept going. I told my husband, it's coming up soon. And he's like, okay. Right. And it was like trying to pull that plug. And
it's always hard. It's always hard.
Is.
Yeah. And
it is.
Even when you know, like from you and the numbers and spreadsheets and everybody's agreeing with you. Yeah. You can do it.
Yeah.
It's still hard.
Yeah.
Because it's like, almost like like just anytime you quit a job, it's hard. But like for whatever reason, like even when you know everything's going to be fine, it's like this, I don't know, like a breakup almost.
It is. Yeah. Because you've done it for so long. Like you're like, okay, but I'm ready for this. But, this is a huge but. And I remember I said, okay, I'm going to leave next October. My husband's like, okay. And then I got thinking and I'm like, why do I want to leave right before winter? So then I'm like, okay.
That's awesome. I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
This was the hardest point for me. So then I'm like, okay, I'll leave in August. I'll leave on the 1st. I had to leave the 1st or the 16th. I'll leave on the 1st. That was my mom's birthday and death date. I'm like, oh, I'll honor her and go that day. I'm like, okay, that feels good. And then I don't know, it was about a week or so later. I'm like, why am I leaving at the end of summer? I have not had a summer, so it's those summers that everybody wants. So that's why I left the end of May, because it gave me the summer. And I really enjoyed that very first summer. It was just, it was so nice to be back in that.
Hey, you're in charge.
Got out of school.
Yeah. You're in charge.
Yeah,
I get
it was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
So like, let's talk about like when you're working with folks, like what are some of the big rocks that you see that keep people like scared, I guess, or whatever, holding back, not getting it, right?
Yeah. So the biggest challenge, and because I work with the day-to-day finances, the biggest challenge that all of my clients have had, I mean, they've had others as well, but the biggest across-the-board challenge is planning for those irregular expenses. Okay. How do I get paid twice a month, or even if you're paid weekly or monthly, how do I get paid in these increments, but I've got to save for my annual insurance, or I've got to save for my quarterly this. And so it's like, basically I come in and show them how to put in a system. We define it for them, how it works for them. I get them off of those budget apps so they don't have to spend time. And my theory with those apps are we're creating history, and we don't need to create history with our money. Especially when retirement or our goals are in front of us. Why do we carry what we spent 3 months ago? Right? It's gone. You've already made the choice. You've got to move on. So, it's most important to see where's my money today, and how is that going to get me to retirement? How is that going to get me to, buying another house or whatever the short-term goals are? And so that's what I truly help clients achieve is managing all those irregular expenses plus being able to reach their goals.
Right. My wife and I divide duties. So like, she's like the checkbook, bill payer, credit card analyzer person. Okay. And then I'm like investment side, right?
That's very common. Very common.
Right. So like, as I was like doing the big number calcs, right, and doing those like, when can I retire in number running ad nauseum things, at some point somebody said, you need to figure out how much you're spending every year already. That's very important number to know, And I was like, right? But I had somebody in my house that knew.
Yes.
And she's really good at it. Yeah. And I don't even know what she's doing, but I know I get yelled at if I don't give her all my receipts.
So she must be doing something right.
Totally. So I asked her, I was like, can you just tell me how much we spend like every month and every year? Right? Because if I know that, then I can take that and do some more stuff on the big side.
Yep.
And she did it, and she gave me a sticky. And she's like, it was like broken out, like expensive month, cheap month, average month, times 12. Right.
Yeah.
She had it all. Right. Yeah.
Good for her.
And she's like, so if you cover the high number, you're good. Right. So then my task was to figure out how to make the investment machine spit out that amount. Right.
Yep.
And then she didn't then I was like, okay, all right, my retirement check, my pension check is this much. So I can subtract that off of this. Mm-hmm. And then when I did that, I was like, shit, I'm done already.
Yes. I know. I just did a webinar 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And a lady on the training, she's like, what do I do about Social Security? And I'm like, take that off your expenses. That's already covered. It's covering that much of your expenses. And now you can figure out how much more you need. Right. So sometimes it's like, what do I need to figure out to get there? So,
totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Not everybody has my wife in their house.
No, I don't have her in my house, and I don't divide duties. I get all responsibility.
Oh, you have to do it all.
Yeah. My husband's like, that's why I went, I supported you through college. I'm like, fair enough. But he has a good sounding board, so he does play a good part.
Yes. Make him give you receipts. That.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Or not,
Or not. Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah.
It's not all receipts, but like, she's really like, like credit card companies will just like bill you for nothing. Right. I learned that. She had a job, for a company, and it was her job to audit the phone bill, the company phone bill.
Oh, wow.
And I won't say the name of the company, but they all do it. But like it was company policy to overbill every month, every phone. Right. Mm-hmm. So if you didn't go over the detailed summary, you would, and then challenge all these calls, they would be like overcharging you. Yeah. And if you think about it, you had one of those jobs, right? Most people just pay the bill because they don't have time to pour over that bill. Turns out she did.
Exactly. Yes. Right. We had adopted a policy. So in the sheriff's office, we have the jail. And so we had medical secretaries who paid for the hospital bills, right? Because they still had to go to the hospital at certain times. But we had a policy that they did not pay for a patient until 60 days after the service, because the hospital was well known to double bill. So they would wait until they got all the bills. They would run, had their own spreadsheet, and then they would be like, nope, here's what I'm paying. Here's what it truly should be. So,
wow. Yeah.
So
I guess it's just, why not?
Exactly.
I would say better than 80% of the time, like especially B2B, business to business, they're just going to pay the bill.
Yep.
Yeah. So why not? Yep. That's just extra revenue, right? It's your buyer beware, as they say.
Yes, very true. Right. Very true.
Okay. So what are some other things that, like, once folks start clicking in, like where do they get stuck a lot?
So, they're the biggest, I guess, limiting belief they have is that they don't have enough. And so the don't have enough comes back to, I don't know if I have enough now. So really dialing that in and then showing them that will take them, just like you said, to retirement. And so usually they're like, okay, but then how do I do that? And so I call it a starting point and an ending point, right? Where are you at now? Where do you want to go, right? What is that number that you need? There's a path in between. And
that's huge.
The people I work with, it's anywhere from 5 to 20 years typically is on the range. And I'm like, well, you still don't feel like you're going to get there because there are, on your journey, you still have other things that you want and need to do.
Right.
And your brain has heard you say that, right? Oh, we need to remodel this in whatever time, or, oh, we got to get the kid through college, or whatever it is, you've said it. And your brain is going, you haven't put it on that path. And so I'm telling you, you don't have enough because you haven't finished that. So I think it's the realization of, yes, I want to retire and I'm here, but how do I walk the walk? And it's like, we've actually got to lay out that path. And usually people only have, 1 to 3 of those goals that they need to accomplish. And so it's like, put that in there, plan for that, and it'll just kind of keep rolling you forward.
Right. Come up with the plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
exactly.
What's the number? How much time do you have?
Yep. Exactly. Or how much time do you want before you want out of there? It's prepping. You can prep for whatever you want. I was on Threads last week. I think it was last week. And there was a 30-year-old saying, can I retire at 45? And I was like, so grateful. All the positive comments on there. Like, yeah, you can. In 15 years, he gave himself a 15-year span. And if that's his biggest desire, he'll achieve it. So we just got to desire it. We've just got to create that desire.
Yeah. And like the, I found this community, the financial independence retire early community.
Yep. The FIRE. Yep.
So I found Mr. Money Mustache.
Oh, I love him.
He's awesome.
Love him.
Because he simplifies things. If you ever think, most finance people, sorry, I'm going to be judgy a little bit, but like, they're not summer uppers, right?
Yep.
Neither is Mr. Money Mustache, but he'll do a really good too long don't want to read kind of summary like right away. Right?
Yeah.
Do this and then you're good. If you want to keep reading, go ahead.
Yeah. Love that. I love that.
I love that guy. Yeah. But like he was crazy. Like with the extreme of his like not spending money kind of idea.
Yeah.
So the first time I heard him on a podcast, I didn't think I could do it. Like, I think his expenses were like $25K a year. I'm like, oh, that's a pipe dream.
Yeah.
There's no way I could, reduce down to that.
Right.
But that's not what he was saying. You don't have to.
Yeah.
That's just what he was doing.
Yep.
And then when that light bulb went, it was like, no, don't worry about that number. Figure out your number and then do the rest of the math. That's when it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I tell my clients, I'm like, the more you save, right? The more you're saving for one times or for retirement, the less you're actually spending. And recognizing that you can get to retirement quicker. So it's like, just keep meddling with that. I followed a Financial Samurai and Motley Fool. Motley Fool's got really
awesome.
bag. Yeah. And I followed them and, kind of the same like you did. I would like hear what they were doing, okay, makes sense. How can I turn it into myself? And I would think it was through one of those 3 that they talked about a savings % challenge. So I've adopted that. I adopted that myself and I have adopted that for my clients because you think about your paycheck. Yep.
Right.
1% a month. Do that for as many months as you can.
Right.
And so I took mine, I did it over the 13 years. I took mine from 12% to 22%.
Wow.
With that. Yeah.
And not really even trying. It was just sort of.
Exactly. And not in a row. So what I do is, they say 1% at a time, keep going as many months as you can until it feels tight. Right. Okay. So you need to kind of be budgeting and aware of what you're spending. And then you're like, okay, we're getting a little tight. Pause for, 4, 6, sometimes even 12 months, then do it again, then do it again. And so, that's where I got that rapidness. So I did it as fast as I could. And I don't remember what I got to in that middle part. Then I did it again. And I would just do it as raises were going up. I would make sure that my contributions from my check were in percentages and not in dollar amounts.
Oh, nice.
Because when you get when you get a raise, your retirement gets a raise. You don't have to do that extra decision making. So everything you can do that doesn't take another decision, causing decision fatigue, it just happens. It just happens. And so you're slowly growing and it's amazing.
So like I had some of my planning and stuff was on easy because we have no kids. I have a Air Force pension. I have like the TRICARE for life kind of Medicare.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's not free,
Nice,
but like
no.
I pay for the retired version of TRICARE, mostly just to cover my wife because they don't like have a just wife only. That'd be great, but they don't. So we get the family plan, right? But I can also go to the VA, which is mostly free, right? So I had a whole lot of easy things. So I feel lucky about that. Yeah. But I also started just like having fun trying to save $10 a month. And you'd be surprised how much fun. I mean, really, do I need to save an extra $10 a month? Not really, but it is fun.
Yes. And I think that's, that's where people need to realize, how can I make this fun for me?
Right.
So my husband and I had helped his sister out, had co-signed on her house more as a protection from an ex. Okay. And so she ended up passing away unexpectedly. So now all of a sudden we have an additional mortgage. So, I do my magic in our numbers and I'm like, okay, until we can get this fixed up and rented or sold, things are going to be just slightly tight is what I called it.
Right.
So
maybe
that's when I was, my husband and my daughter, like we were 30 days from broke. And I'm like, no, we weren't. I mean, things were tight, but we were fine. And my daughter, she's like, I remember we couldn't even buy socks and underwear. I'm like, did you need socks and underwear? Because you should have told me. Really, so we have this whole different perception. But during that,
that's great.
I was cutting pennies. I shouldn't say pennies. I was cutting dollars, like you were saying.
Right.
And one of the things I adopted then was I made my own foaming hand soap. I still do that today.
Right.
I am like, why am I going to pay $2.50, $3.50 for a soap when I can buy a gallon? Well, actually, I think it's 2 gallons for $6, and they last me for about 2+ years.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and so not everybody wants to do that, but find the area that you want to do that.
I found this soap called what is it called? Castile soap. I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, but it's this soap that's made out of olive oil, right? Yep. But it's Dr. Bonner's is the brand, but you don't have to buy that one. You can buy the cheap one at Walmart or CVS. It's like $6, but it's a big bottle. And it's just like you said, like that bottle, you just like do like 3 squirts, right? Mm-hmm. And then put the rest of the bottle is water. So that bottle lasts like years.
Yes.
Just like your gallon. Yeah.
Yep.
It lasts, and you can brush your teeth with it if you really wanted to.
Oh.
I don't.
I mean, see, that's the thing. It's like,
there are
choose what you want to do. Yep.
Right.
Choose.
But it's my shampoo and it's my body wash in the shower, right? Yeah. I don't need shampoo. I'm bald.
Exactly. So on my bookshelf, I have a book that's called the Tightwad Gazette.
I love it. Oh, that's great.
I used it on my journey, and apparently she did a blog, and then it became kind of a newspaper, and then she's actually formulated it in a book. But it has got some extreme stuffs in there. Right. Like rinsing out your bags, drying those off. I mean, super, super extreme. But I love it because it actually helps you start.
It changed the mindset.
Yes. Yeah. And that was more so than anything. And I know people are like, well, I have to cut and I have to restrict to get somewhere. And I'm like, no, open up your mind. Right. And think about, I remember my mom when I was growing up, and she's like, oh, if your sister-in-law would just buy. So I had a nephew who was very high energy, went everywhere. He was wearing out shoes probably every 2 months. Wow. And she was buying them at, Payless. So they were a little bit cheaper, but he was so hard on shoes. She's like, if you spent $30, you're going to probably get those to last a year instead of $10 every 2 months. Right. So recognizing like sometimes it's quality. Yeah. Instead of, and so thinking through shifting your mindset that it's not always about being restrictive.
Yeah. Actually, I found a shoe hack myself. Like if you get I fell in love with Under Armour shoes, but they all retail like over $100, like all of them. Right. Mm-hmm. But if you go to an outlet store and you get some off color that nobody wants to buy. Yes. They're $30, right? And that's $100 shoe for $30. Yeah.
Exactly. And I loved Alta's, and we had an outlet from where we moved. But then I realized if I went onto Amazon and typed in women's Alta's, sorted up by the lowest price, and pick this odd color that I was fine with.
Right.
Yeah. I got them for like you said, like $35 as opposed to almost $100. So
right. Yes.
Yeah.
It starts to be fun.
It does.
These
It does.
stupid little things.
System.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like if I've been on this phone plan, it's called Tello.com. Now it works for me and maybe like younger people, but I've been a computer nerd and unfortunately have had to, help old people with their phones. I don't really like phones, but you have to have one.
Yeah,
but
you do.
Tello is like, I think my wife's phone is $10 a month.
Oh, wow.
Now, like, again, we don't use a lot of data. So she gets like 2 gigs a month. And then I just upgraded my plan and I get 5 gigs a month. And I'm on the $12 a month plan.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Super cheap, right?
Yeah.
But they don't have a store, right? So, like, I think most people, like, they don't want to like buy a phone and then go through the whole thing about setting it up themselves.
Yeah.
They want to go into a store, right?
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yep.
Like you don't have the bandwidth to do everything for cheap.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. Find the areas that work and go have fun. Have fun.
Right. Yeah. But yes, you can save money.
Yes,
like
you can.
When I tell people like that phone story, they're like, wow. $10, $12 a month, really? And most people want like the unlimited plan, right? I get that. That's okay. I think the unlimited plan is like $25 a month. It's still pretty cheap.
Oh, see, that's not bad.
No, right.
Yeah.
Just got to keep looking.
Yep, exactly. I know that's on my list. I'm like, we've got to go. We got to do something different than what we're doing. But, it does take some energy as well. So it will come up on that list. So pick a priority, go after it. That's when I talk about my journey, my retirement journey. So for those 13 years, I was really focused. I'm like, I'm going to make sure I have that option open in 13 years.
Right.
And I focused on one thing at a time. And so, I was getting really good with meal planning, really good with bulk buying, exploring those types of things. But also that's when I did the savings challenge. So I was like, okay, gonna grow that. That's what I'm focusing on right now. Right. And just taking those baby steps. And I think so many of us want to jump. We want to be like, oh my gosh, did you see that was amazing? In 2 months, I did, $100,000. That's not going to happen. But just knowing that every little thing you do adds together and keeps going. So
tiny
I was
things.
I was like, how am I going to help clients, pick one thing? Let's focus on it. So I actually distilled it to what I call the retirement progress levers. And I have the specific steps underneath. So it's just in the 3 areas of money: savings, debt, and expenses.
Right.
And I know expenses, you're like, okay, that's where she's going to have me cut. But over there, it's like, just like you said, with cell phone, but also you can do it with car insurance, home insurance.
Right. A lot of things, everything, basically.
Yeah. Look for a savings. Can you save $20 a month or $200 in a year and then shift that to where it, you can start growing it. Right. So exploring those things, I think, is very important.
All of your bills are subject to scrutiny. That's what I
yes.
to say. Right.
Yes. Exactly.
Like, since this podcast has gone into hobby mode, right? Like it doesn't need to make money. So I've been looking for new and interesting ways to like make the podcast bill cheaper, right? So like just like earlier this week, my website died, right?
Oh
yeah, it's minor panic. I'm like, oh, Monday's the day the show comes out, darn it.
Yeah.
And I'm my own IT guy, so I have to fix it. But it turns out like I think my website hosting company might have had some sort of cybersecurity thing.
Oh gosh.
And that affected my site too. But what it really did was reminded me that I wanted to like move. So I'm paying another bill to host the files, the MP3 files for the show. And they offer a free website.
Oh, wow.
Hello. So I tried to do that before, but like the first time I looked at it was basically just text. Right. And I was like, I want to be able to at least put a link in there. Right.
Yeah.
So since then, when I looked at it the first time and now I can put a link in there and I can actually put pictures in there if I want to. I don't know if I want to, but I definitely want the link because that counts for you and your SEO.
Yep.
For now,
Yep.
kind of, sort of, maybe.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. It does.
It helps. Yes. But so like a text only is not as good as a hyperlink, right?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it does that. So I was like, okay, I can go.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
going to save $200 a year. That seems like a lot. It's not, but it.
But it is for a hobby.
Exactly.
So,
well said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another thing that I thought of when you were talking was like during lockdown, like everything sort of crystallized, right? Like every time you leave your house, most every time you leave your house, you're going to go see a business, right? And they were all shut down. And life didn't stop, right? So like I thought about every time when you leave the house, are you going somewhere and going to spend money? In Vegas? Probably, right?
Yep.
But you don't really have to, right? You don't.
Right.
Life didn't end for those 2 years. You were okay. You went and walked somewhere else.
Exactly.
Right.
So maybe kind of revert from where you're at if you're spending now and go back to that. Yeah.
It's more like it was like I just said to myself, like, what if there was a global pandemic and I couldn't go anywhere to spend money? Well, that happened.
Yep. It did.
And it was okay.
Exactly.
Right. And
exactly.
it made me rethink about like some of the money that like maybe I don't need to spend. Yeah.
Or your spending maybe even shifted. If you're stuck at home, maybe you didn't have streaming or a lot of streaming, and maybe now you do, but you're not going out and it's like recognizing
all that money that we
change.
might have spent in restaurants, on sushi, at the casino, whatever. Maybe we'll get Disney Plus because we're just sitting home watching.
Exactly. Adjust and move. So yeah, I love that.
Good stuff. So, hey, Dalene, this has been a blast.
Yes.
Yeah. I
enjoyed chatting with you.
So you are at elevatefinances.us. So talk a little bit about the website and maybe drop some socials, whatever else you want to say.
Yeah. So, visit me at elevatefinances.us. Everything on there about who I am, what I do, how you can connect with me. I'm also the host of the Wealthy After 40 podcast.
Oh, nice.
So would love to have you head over there and give a listen there, get a little bit more about why I believe what I believe and what I help people with.
Yeah.
And then if that is exciting, I would love for you to join my community, Retirement Ready community on Facebook. And I dive deeper into the subjects from the podcast inside there and give the support to those who are ready to be a part of a community.
Sounds like there's a lot of free offerings over there.
Yes, there is. So check out the website. There's the paid there as well. And I do host a free webinar every month. So if you're curious about different topics, they are, advising, but it's all retirement ready focused with your money, money. So. And
yes, you can retire whenever you want.
You can. And if you want my help, I'll help you because I love numbers. Yeah. So back when I was talking about my job, they lovingly called me their numbers nerd. So, I found that very affectionate from these big, rough, tough officers, but yet I could speak a language that the auditors did and then speak back in regular English to them so that they could understand it. So
yes. You were a human to nerd interface.
Exactly. And so I tried to do the same thing from what you're trying to do to what you're trying to do, and I'll make it normal.
There you go. Thank you so much. This has been a blast. You have a good one.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Thanks for taking the time to ride along with us on another episode of Vroom Vroom Veer. For podcast info and show notes, be sure to head over to vvveer.com. That's VVER.com. Man, that's fun to say. And we'll catch up with you next time here on Vroom Vroom Veer.